We're going to be moving outside today to finally start the roof. You guys know that we've been waiting probably 6 months now to get our roof done because we have been in the rainy season. During our rainy season, it rains pretty much every day. And it makes it really hard to find the time to get up there and do the roof. Between the blaring sun and the rain, you can't do it. We have a nice stretch of dry weather. Rainy season is done. So we're going to be pulling out the roofing metal, getting it prepped, and starting installation.
So whose side are we lining them up to?
Both. There should be the same time.
Oh.
And then all the holes will be set for us. Would be annoying.
Whatever length they are, they're just gonna. What did I say? 7.
I don't know. Actually, if we can just get this bottom roof on.
That would be awesome for one day. Mine has to go this way.
The day got away from me. I started on this roof project and I just got rolling into other jobs. I actually just ended up processing wood, which you'll see in another video, for the bedroom. But I'm coming back to this before it gets too late, and I'm going to drill my holes. What I ended up doing this morning was I got up on the roof, I measured the roof, and I checked for square. I'm going to just explain it because I don't want to show it. By using the 3-4-5 method. So basically, you measure from a starting point at the bottom of the roof. Your starting point is what matters. You measure parallel, straight, with the end of the roof, 3 feet over. And you take those 2 points, and this one you go up 4 feet, this one you go up 5 feet, and you find where they connect. You make a dot where they connect, and that is your square. What I found was that our roof wasn't square, so I'm glad I did that, but I made a chalk line of where the roof metal is going to start. So I marked that out, and then I came down here and I got my metal marked out of where the screws are going to go. It's going to be easier for me to pre-drill the metal on the ground than it is to do it on the roof, and I do like the idea of pre-drilling because sometimes metal doesn't install as cleanly when you don't pre-drill. You get those metal shavings up on the roof spiraling out, damaging your gaskets on your screws. I don't want that. So we're going to take a drill bit and drill all the holes. What is that?
A fan open it both made me.
Belle made that for you?
Uh-huh.
Let's check it out. What is it?
Acorns and then leaves.
Does the airplane have a name?
Yes, it says right here.
Yeah? Do you know what it says?
Well, sometimes I forget the name, and I even forgot right now.
Let's see. Ashley just reminded me that we have to pull one sheet out. I have these marked on the top sheet. I'm going to drill through all this stack at the same time. They recommend drilling through 7 at a time, but we're going to go through all of them. The reason we're taking one out is because we're probably only going to need half a sheet when we get to the end of the roof. So we're going to have this half a sheet left over, and I don't want to make holes in it if I don't need to, because I never know what project I'm going to use it on. So we'll drill that one separately when we get to that last piece and see what we have to work with. Okay, we have all of our holes drilled. We're ready to start installing. Let's get up on the roof. So we brought another sheet up here and we laid them down. Neither of these are screwed in yet, we just have them laying in place. I wanted to see if we're going straight along the edge of the roof. I lined up the first panel with my square line that I made, and I just laid this one hooked to it. And it looks really good. We're totally even along the end of the roof, so I think it's safe to screw in this first panel and work off of it. It's okay. Okay, we're off to a good start. Now, where these sheets lap, and I'm hoping you guys can see this because these shadows are strong, but we're going to be putting this butyl tape. It's basically a sticky putty that will be between these seams. Because of this pitch, the roof is a 1 in 12 pitch, and it's so low that there's potential for water to get under these laps somehow. It won't happen, but there's potential. So we're going to seal it with butyl tape, and then we're going to lap screw it, which means putting screws right through this metal, and then it's going to be watertight all the way down. This is the same stuff they seal the old mobile homes with. Let me just get these out so you can set this down.
Thank you. I can set it down now?
Yep. Wow, this looks really familiar, doesn't it? Sitting on a roof with these hats on. I feel like we've done this before.
Yeah.
It looks just like the video.
Yeah.
Okay, the roof job is going better than I expected. I mean, it's just a metal roof. It's not difficult. I guess I just made it difficult in my mind. It's half done on this bottom low slope roof, and we're getting the technique pretty well, I think.
Picture every sheet you do, you move 3 feet over. It goes quick.
Yeah. Now we're installing a commercial style metal roofing. They're PBR panels, and it's a little bit different than the panels you see at the hardware store, the typical roof and siding panels that you'll see. It's different because the ribs are bigger They're 1.25 inches tall. They're much bigger than the other ones, and the panel is a little bit thicker. The gauge of steel is a heavier gauge of steel. And the reason we went with this roof over a typical roof panel is because these panels are rated for a low slope roof like ours, a 1 in 12 pitch. While we could do typical roofing up here, we wanted the panels to match. So we're just doing the whole roof, the commercial, and it is better. Like I said, it's thicker, it's made for heavier use, and it'll last a long, long time. We're using an upgraded screw also. Let me try to show you. These screws are going to be a little bit different than what you might have seen, again, at the hardware store with your typical roofing metal. First of all, it has a very aggressive thread, and it's designed for OSB. We have OSB decking. This is designed to give us the most grip as possible, the most uphill battle. What is this called? Uplift. Uplift force. The other cool feature about this is the head is actually, instead of a typical roofing screw where it has the washer with the rubber under it, this has a cap head. So that cap is one solid piece with the screw, and what it does is encapsulate the rubber washer. You can see the rubber right there. So when you screw this down, the rubber spreads out under the cap, and the cap protects it. So it shields it from the sun and the UVs and the things that usually makes the rubber wear out. These will last a lot longer than an exposed rubber gasket. And now the other cool thing about it is you basically screw it down to the roof, and you can't really over-screw it because that cap, it more or less
makes you stop.
And we're also adding lap screws. And these are little self-drilling metal screws, same design, but they're made to go through the metal panels. So where the panels overlap on the edges, we screw through the laps to tie them together. They're joined, and there's no way for wind to lift it up, and it makes a better water seal with that butyl tape.
And speaking of the butyl tape, we learned that you have to keep it in the shade, because if it's in the sun and it gets hot, it starts melting and ripping and turning into a disaster.
It's too hard to unroll when it's so soft.
So I brought up an umbrella and we're keeping it under there in between working the sheets.
And that's working good.
Yeah.
Also, we are putting these closure strips at the bottom of our roof underneath the roof edge. These just seal up the gaps under the panels. We were told these are optional, but we decided to do them because we have a lot of tree frogs here, lizards. I mean, we have frogs in everything, and
yeah,
it's crazy. Lizards, bugs, wasps, and we just don't want anything getting up into our roof just because we don't want it there. So we thought we'd seal it off. And also, on a very low slope roof like this, there's a greater potential for water to be able to back up into the roof. So we're going to seal it. I guess we're going to get back to getting these panels down. I can't believe we're getting our roof on.
Good.
We're down to the last piece, and it has to be cut. So I'm going to be using a new tool. I wanted to share it with you guys. This is the Makita Nibbler. Basically, it nibbles the metal, and you can cut metal in all different shapes. It gives you a lot of flexibility over like a tin snips or something like that, where it's really hard to maneuver around ribs and whatnot. Luckily, this is just a rip, so it's all straight flat metal. You could use a lot of different tools for that, shears and different things. But this tool is designed for corrugated roofing. So it's designed for this type of roof. You see that brass piece in there? It's like a hole punch, and it basically goes in and out, punching holes in the metal. But this head is designed in a way that it's very skinny, but also cut away in the back so that you could bevel it. And that way you can work up and down the ribs in the metal. It's just designed for cutting roofing. You can also rotate the head so that you can cut this way or cut sideways, whatever works best for you. It's really flexible, it's really good. I'm gonna try it out, but I know it's gonna work because we saw it on another channel. I didn't even know this existed. I've seen metal nibblers before, but never one that worked so well for metal roofing. Until I saw Red and April using one on Red and April Off-Grid. They have a channel where they are building a home out in the desert by scratch, and it is beautiful. It's coming out so good. They have a lot of alternative building techniques mixed with conventional building techniques. It's a perfect blend, and I think they're doing an awesome job. Videos are so fun to watch. But when I saw him nibbling away their metal, I said, wow, that is cool. And I went back and watched the video again so I can make sure I was getting the right tool. So let's see how I do my first time nibbling metal. Hopefully I can keep a straight line and make this look good. I am so nervous. I can't start this, you do it.
Oh yeah.
Look at this, it makes a clean, kind of just rounded little hole. Very clean cut. Keep going. It smoothed it out when you pull like upwards, so like the tool is pulling against the bottom of the metal.
Yeah.
It seemed to make a big help. So here's the only downfall of this type of cutter. You get little pointy half moons. I mean, these are tiny. On the ground, they can be sharp, so don't do it where you're going to be walking barefoot.
Look at this. Maverick would probably like doing this job.
Yeah.
It's fun, kind of. Still picking them up. Look at this wad.
Now we don't have to tacky tape the rest of the house. This is just for the low slope. This only happens down here.
That'll be nice.
Yeah. And it's just an extra precaution. Oops. Is it lined up at the end or not?
It needs to go my way a little. Right there.
All right. My hand's shaking. I'm tired. This is awesome. Let me come up here. Show you the progress. In hindsight, I don't think I needed these top screws because I'm going to be putting a transition flashing here, and the flashing gets screwed through here all the way down into the deck. Those screws would have been enough, but it's fine. More screws isn't going to hurt. Unbelievable. After months of waiting. You can see how pre-drilling the panels really helped me keep my screws in line, and it looks so good. Professional job. Well guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. We have the back part of our roof done. This part's next. It's another easy roof. It's just a higher pitch, but no problem. I'm not looking forward to the front part of the house where we have valleys and angles and all kinds of intersections. I hope that goes okay. We'll figure it out as we go. We're learning and we're having fun doing it. So, thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.